lightheaded. But this was 11 years in the making. I finally got a MacBook Pro, the M3 chip. And before I get into my Valentine's gift to myself, happy belated Valentine's for those who celebrate. This is probably the best Valentine's I ever had as a single woman. I'm usually dating or in a relationship, but this year I was like, we're not going to hang out with the girls. We are going to treat yourself to something nice and a nice day. If I recall, my day started with picking this up at the Apple store. And then after that, I picked up some vegan chocolates. It was vegan chocolate cookies. It was okay. It was too sweet for me, but I ate the box anyway. Then I went to CVS to pick up my pictures with Billy D from the day before. Then I went to Harlem, so I believe it's called the Schomburg, to see Billy D again. And then the cool part is they gave us roses. The roses are dying. It's almost a good 5 days later. But look what we got. They let us have the roses there. That was also a photo op. Now, I didn't get a photo op with Billy D that day, but it was a free event as opposed to the day before it wasn't free. And then I made a vegan charcuterie board. Charcuterie. I always struggle with that word. But that was amazing. It was all vegan. It was delicious.
Charcuterie.
And then, days later, I decided to open up my baby. I was waiting for all my wires to get here. So let me see. I don't want this information to show. So this is a refurbished Mac. I'm going to explain why I went the refurbished route. But this is not my first MacBook. It is now my third. This is let me show you my first MacBook. I got this around 2008 when I was in college. And those were the stickers and things I was into back then. Nothing much has changed. If I remember, AC was this headphone place I used to shop at. I don't even know if they exist anymore. And of course, I still love Michael Jackson and The Sims and G-Shock. So nothing changed since 2008. This lasted until I dropped it, and then I didn't have Apple Care on it. So I learned my lesson, never get a MacBook again without Apple Care. So this is my second one. This one wasn't refurbished. It was spec'd out. It was the MacBook Pro of that time frame. I bought this back in March 2013. Probably the longest product I've ever used of Apple in history. I'm still going to be using it. I'm going to tell you why, because there's something in this one that's not in that one. Well, anyway, so there's numbers on the bottom, so I'm not going to show the bottom, but it is sealed. So let me unseal it. Oh my God. It took me so long to get a MacBook because at the time, I didn't think I was getting I felt like the older Macs had more because it had the SD card reader, it had the CD-ROM, and I was actually kind of disappointed that I was paying more and getting less per se. Now, the CD-ROM did not come back into the Macs, at least not as yet, but the SD card reader did, and initially I was going to try to get this spec'd out. Ooh, this is thin. Oh, wait. Let me finish my story. Initially I was going to get a spec'd out MacBook Pro, and I chose not to do that this time for several reasons. I mainly edit on my iPad now, and if I ever decide to edit on a computer again, I think the specs I have in here will be enough. But I am impressed. This is much thinner than the one that I had last. Let me show. Oh, much thinner. Ooh. Well, not much, but you can see the difference. Weight-wise, I'm not impressed on how heavy it is. Like I said, I edit on a MacBook, iPad Pro. So you get the brick, your cable to charge it, and some paperwork that I will probably put away. So I was actually surprised. I don't remember my original refurbished one back in 2008 being like wrapped up as if it was new. I decided to do the refurbished route, one, because it was like $600 cheaper. And if I had to be honest, I hope in the future that Apple will make the iPad not just as powerful, because they are powerful, but like the iPad will have the same exact capability of a MacBook. Like traveling wise, weight wise, I wouldn't travel with this at all. You have your HDMI cable, the SD card, and 2 ports. Let me see what I had on this one. I believe your headphone jack. Back then, though, everything came on. Look at the difference of the MacBooks back then. You just had more ports. And I'll be honest, this is a huge factor why I didn't update a long time ago. Like if I had my option, I would have had the last generation that had all these ports plus the CD-ROM, and I probably would have been able to use it for a couple of more years. Wow, they were just completely different back then. Okay, so let's just open this up. Oh, oh, it says hello. Hello to you. Oh. Like, because I'm so used to like working mainly with the iPad, my first instinct was to touch the screen. It's going to be some adjusting because I only use my computer strictly for StreamYard, nothing else. Sometimes I use it for Photoshop, but it's rare because it's so outdated. It's so slow and painful. I have to be like desperate. And I sometimes use it for certain softwares that I just don't have on my MacBook. But I mean, you could go to Adobe Photoshop on your iPad, but then you have to pay a monthly subscription. Back when we were in college, they sold like Adobe significantly cheaper on a CD-ROM. There was no other, like once you paid for it, that was it. So I'm not really looking forward to paying another subscription. I already paid several subscriptions on my iPad. So this is the cover that I got. Initially, I got this one and I didn't like it. So I'm going to be going with this one. Yeah, I always get cases for my MacBooks. As you can see, I usually get green ones, but I have such an obsession with composition notebooks that I thought for a change. Oh, what I do like, it comes with something, hold on, cover for your keyboard. Oh, this is awesome. Yay. All right, I was going to show you all my accessories, but not really. Because this is like, I only got what I got, mainly because I have cameras to hook up. Like I got the Thunderbolt cable, so if I ever decide to get a monitor, I could, do it through that. But I can't think of anything that like stands out that's important that you would need. But everything else is kind of like, it just depends on what your setup is. I have 2 cameras for my lives as well as a microphone. I'm very lucky. I kind of knew I was going to get a computer in the near future once I started doing streaming. So I end up going with this this microphone here, the I think it's the Identity microphone. And what's cool about it, it comes with 2 cables, USB and a USB-C. So I won't need an adapter for that. It already comes with the cables. But yeah, I really can't think of anything that I got that you may want except for the cover. And if you do, let me know. I'll leave the links in the description bar. And that's about it. I think I'm going to be happy with this. I kind of wish I could see the specs without hooking it up. Or maybe I could, but nothing's hooked up right now. But that's it. How was your Valentine's Day? And shout out to Billy D. Williams. 1, for not canceling us on the day before. There was this big storm in New York, snowstorm, on the 13th. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to cancel. And thank God he didn't. And then I found about the free event when I was at the other one. So I'm going to just give an extra love to Billy D. Williams. And if you want, check out my vlog from the day before. And I will see you in my next post. Bye. Oh, this is so cool.